Hey kid, don't ever let them get inside your head. They'll tell you what to do in life instead of everything you know that you could get. Don't let them guide your life towards regret. I'll fight for what I love with every breath. My past is filled with things I won't forget. I use them all to push me to my best. So treat the worst of times just like a test. If only I could go back in time, I'd tell myself that everything will end up alright. Just push yourself, test yourself, figure out what you like, and find your limits, don't be rigid, always work towards a prime. Surround yourself with open minds, people can change your life. A few friends with intent.
Aloha and welcome back to the Art Studio. It's your boy Neglected Gundam here today, and we're going to be talking about the Master Grade Heavyarms Custom. So as you can see, I have finished the Master Grade Heavyarms Custom. I'm really excited with how this build came out. So the first thing I'm going to say about it is that I used Henry McClellan's work as an example and as a template for this. He also did a light weathered custom and he wanted to make it a dark aesthetic, and I absolutely loved that work, so I wanted to make one for myself. So I will say I didn't completely copy his work to a T. There is a little bit of differences between our work. However, I did want to get the overall feel that he had created. So I saw his build back in 2017 and I really liked the work. So it took a couple years for me to make this, and I finally did, and I'm glad that I did. I really enjoy the way it comes out. I think that his work is a little bit better weathered than mine. However, I think I did a pretty good job for what I wanted. So I will go ahead and talk about what techniques I used to make the weathering look the way it does. Let's get started. So I think it would be a good opportunity to talk about these two suits at the same time because I made them at the exact same time. Now, the custom was my main project, so I was focused more on this project and making it look the way I wanted to. But since I was doing this body style and the EW has the same body style, I figured I would go ahead and do both of them at the same time. Just the way that I had everything put on the sticks when I was making them, and then also just the process itself. It was pretty easy to do because they have the same body style. So these two whites here are actually the same white, and I applied all the white at the exact same time, but the effects of both of them are widely different. So I'll explain how I got the effect of both the whites here. So for this guy, what I went ahead and did is I sprayed absolutely every part that he has in a black primer. I did not do a pre-shade of any other color before the white, so I just had the black primer and then I built the white on top of it. So what I did was I gave everything 1 to 2 coats in just the white, and it was an even coat, and the black was still shining through those colors. And then what I did is I just came in the middle and then built up the middle here, and then also here on the skirts there. So I just went ahead and built up those colors, and everything here is just that one white with a built up color. Now this guy here, I did a white primer, I did the light gray pre-shading, and then I did the white on top of that. And then these two yellows are exactly the same color as well. I did a white primer for the V-fin here, and again this is going to be the black primer, so it's the exact same yellow I sprayed on the exact same day and the same time. However, the color is so much brighter on here because you have the white primer. And then I made this guy dirty as well. Those are the two main colors that were the exact same. I just wanted to go ahead and show you the difference between those two. We'll go ahead and get this guy out of the way because this is not his talk story. We'll just get him out of the way for now. But I figured you guys would want to hear the differences between those colors. Okay, so I'm really excited about how this guy came out. And so with the colors inside the recessed shoulder, pauldrons, chest, and the skirts here, these kits actually come with stickers to fill these. I didn't use them, but what I did do is I painted these colors first, minus the chest pieces, because the chest pieces were actually parts that you could paint and then put inside. But for the recessed pieces here, I painted these colors first, along with this color at the same time. And then what I did is I put those decals that came with the suit on these pieces. And then I went over and painted this the dark blue green. And then after I was done, I took all those stickers off, and then I just put these in when I was done. And the same is for the back as well, so I just put those stickers inside. I think that came out as a very good effect. And then with all the colors that I did, let me bring this a little closer. I made every piece the color that I wanted to, and then what I did is I went over a light dry brushing of that color, and it actually hit the decals up, so that's why the decals are a different color. But it's very subtle, and so like here you can see the different colors. You see the dark blue and the light blue. It was my first time doing that technique, and next time I do the technique I'll make sure it sticks out a little bit more, but you can still see it. So basically I did that technique with the blue-green color, the blue color, and then also the steel color as well. Now the guns, I'm pretty happy about that. So for this main color for the guns, I used a gunmetal and also a little bit of black inside. Just a very small amount of black, just to change that gunmetal to a little bit darker. And then I just used this gray. That's a neutral gray that I used, and it dries a little bit darker. And then when you put the top coat on, it becomes a little darker as well, and I really like that. I just did small little details here. And then also it had a seam line, and I took that seam line out of the gun. The barrels here, what I noticed with the EW is that the tips of the barrels change colors when you do the fog color on them. So I didn't actually go in with a brush and paint these colors of the barrel here, because I knew that the smoky color would cover that up. So I didn't even bother. That's one thing I learned with the EW. So how I got the heated barrel effect, I just went ahead and mixed up the colors that I wanted. So for this color here, the blue, I just sprayed light blue on top of that. With the purple, I actually took purple and then I had clear base, and I put clear base and purple together. Brown, same way I did the purple, just with the clear base. I just went ahead and laid a thicker coat of brown here at the base, and then barely did a light brown on top. And so that's how I got the 4 different colors here for the heat staining. I think they came out pretty good, and I think it looks like he's been firing his guns all night. I really like that. Okay, and then I did the clown mask. It's actually one of my favorite things about this suit. I just brushed all the details inside. So I think for his mouth I just did a Gundam marker, and we panel lined just with that Gundam marker. I went ahead and panel lined this guy. So in all the darker colors we have black panel line inside the recessed areas. And then for the white, I went ahead and used a gray panel line here. And inside the missile pods there, I just went and used black for that as well. And I believe this was just the Gundam marker that I put inside there. But normally I will do an enamel mix with enamel thinner. So when the main colors were done for this guy, I went ahead and did the panel line, and then I put all the water slide decals that come with this guy, and I put them on. Alright, so I'll go ahead and talk about how I got the dirty effect on him. So once I painted all the pieces to the color that I wanted, I went ahead and took the Vallejo model wash. This is going to be the oiled earth. So what I did is I coated the whole piece in the model wash here, and then I took a paper towel and just wiped it down. And I wiped it down the way of gravity, so I didn't wipe it sideways. I knew that gravity would pull water and oil down, so I just wiped it down. And I did that with everything. And then even on his feet here, I think that gave a really good effect here to where it looks like the oil and everything has kind of coagulated on the bottom. I really like how this came out. And then I did it on the darker parts too. You can't really tell unless you get very close, but the detail is there. So I did that process on the whole model, and I wanted to make sure that some spots like this stayed darker, and then you could see the white as well. So the paint chipping on this guy, I basically separated it out by what color part I was working on for the day, and then I chose that paint chip based on that color. So I couldn't do a light gray. For example, you'll see the light gray on all of the blue, green, and blue pieces. That's all light gray. But I couldn't do the light gray on the white, just because I wanted it to stand out a little bit more. So I used the dark gray and gunmetal mix to do that. So I believe with that color I did all the white, the yellow, and the light blue. I did all of that. And then what I did was the light gray, I did all the blue-green pieces and the blue pieces, and also the guns here. After the paint chipping, I did the sponge chipping, and then after that process, I was done. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and open up this guy's panels and show you some of the missiles. And this guy is so nice to open up. Like I said on the EW, I can't even open the waist skirts here, so this guy is really nice when it comes to his panels and opening them. So for the missiles, I actually wanted to make his missiles red as well, but I didn't want to compromise the color from the movie because I just wanted to make it as movie accurate as I could. So I went ahead and used that kind of dark gray. And for the frame, I did a chrome silver mixed with a little bit of gunmetal. And then for the inner chest piece, I did that just in gunmetal. For the barrels there, I went ahead and did a flat aluminum, and then I made them just a little bit brighter. For the blue here, I did a sky blue and white mix, where I did mostly sky blue and then just a little bit of white, and that gave it this nice blue color there. And then if I open up his cockpit, in this cockpit, it's not really easy to get light up inside of it. Okay, you'll have to excuse my phone in the shot here, but it's the only way I could get light up into the cockpit. As you can see, there is a painted Troa Barton figure inside. I went ahead and watched the OVA and the movie, and inside, when Troa pilots this Gundam, he's just in his blue shirt and white pants. So that's what I did for his pilot. And like I said in my last talk story, I do like to paint the pilots and put them inside. I know you can't really see them, only if the cockpit is open, and it's hard to get light in there, but I do like my pilots to actually be in the suits. But I'm pretty satisfied with the way that this guy came out, and I really like the Gundams from the movie Endless Waltz, and I really like this nighttime dirty aesthetic. Although I do like how in the movie the Gundams do get heavily damaged because they were fighting all night, and they had to fight like, I think 50 suits each, and they eventually ran out of ammo or beam energy, and they just kept fighting, and their suits kept breaking down. I didn't want to recreate a suit from Endless Waltz that is in that shape, in that bad of shape, and I just wanted to create something that was light damage that looks like it's been fighting all night, mainly because I just don't want to damage these kits. There are other kits that I am willing to damage, however, I just wanted to artistically go with a light damage style. But I do already have a Serpent custom that I made, and that one is a little bit heavier damage to where I actually drilled into the plastic and created bullet holes. And so when I did the Serpent custom, that one actually does have light damage. It does have divots in it from bullet holes, and that mobile suit is actually a very specific mobile suit from the movie that was shot down by the Heavyarms Custom. So I don't mind doing heavy damage on those guys. But for my Endless Waltz project, I'm going to go ahead and keep this light damage, kind of just scratched up. But with the gun barrels, it looks like it's been firing all night. I really appreciate this guy a lot. And so this mobile suit came with the two pilot figures of Troa Barton. It does have his regular outfit, and then also the Marimea outfit as well. It does take a little effort to want to paint both of them, but I'm really happy that I painted both of them. I think they came out pretty well. Okay, so when it comes to Heavyarms eyes, I did them in the exact same way that I did the Heavyarms EW. There's a full explanation inside that video of the talk story for the Heavyarms EW. So if you'd like to get the full explanation, go watch that video. But in a short explanation, what I did was I took the clear piece for his eyes. It is the same piece for his eyes and the head camera. The head camera in the front and the back are connected by one piece. So I masked those off. And the back of the eyes and the sides, I went ahead and put chrome silver on that. Once that was done, I took the masking off. I did the clear yellow on the front and back cameras, and then I put a clear green and yellow, but mostly green, on the front camera eyes, and then I went in with brushwork and I painted the black in his eye area. The light has to travel a little bit further to get into the eye, but when it does reflect the light, it really makes a bright color. And also for the head cameras, you get a really good sense of depth when you look inside the head cameras. As you can see for his hands, I don't actually have him holding the handles. That fit is so tight, it could scratch the paint around his hands. So I decided not to do that. There are the pegs that just go into the arm, and you could just slide those in. So that's what I opted to do. I really do like how my first project for Endless Waltz came out. I hope that you guys like it as well, but I'm really happy that my Heavy Arms project is complete now. I went ahead and threw in the EW while I was painting these two. I can honestly say that I'm 100% done with this project. I'm very excited. I am almost heavy armed out. I don't think that I would paint another Heavy Arms for a long time. When it comes to the high grade Heavy Arms TV version, I think I have enough steam left to do that. That will be when I paint up all the high grade wingsuits from the TV series. And I can't wait in the future to do another Endless Waltz suit. It won't be for a while until I get to another one of those suits. I do have other projects in mind. The next one we're going to do is the Perfect Grade Exia. We're going to be working on all three of his armor sets, the regular, the clear, and the damage. So I have that. We're going to be working on that next. And then after that, we're going to be moving on to the 08th MS team, where I have some GUF customs and one Easy 8 that I want to do as well. So thank you for joining me today. Thank you for watching this video. I do want to say, if you like this content, please give it a like. If you want to comment about it, comment about it. And if you want to subscribe, subscribe, because we have a lot of things we're going to be going over on this channel. We have a lot of projects that we're going to be doing, and I have a lot of builds in my mind that I think are pretty cool, and I think that you guys would enjoy too. So let's go ahead and go on this journey together, and until next time, I hope you don't feel that neglected now. Alright, so I'm going to use this opportunity to kind of take advantage and talk about the Heavyarms EW. I did a little bit of updating on that suit. So I did have a suit that I had never built for the Heavyarms EW, and I used those spare parts to go ahead and make a new blade for him. It's a nice color contrast to the rest of the suit. And then with those spare parts, I went ahead and made the extra arm. With the Heavyarms EW, it only gives you one of the white pieces and one of the inner mechanics for the elbow. So I went ahead and used that opportunity to make a spare arm for him, the one that holds the beam saber. And then with this suit, we did a whole video repairing the shoulder of the Gundam, right? Now, that repair is a pretty permanent fix for this guy. However, it just unsettled me that both his arm joints were broken, so I went ahead and used that spare part Gundam that I have. I went ahead and just made him a whole new set of shoulder joints, and everything is pretty much replaced. All the inner mechanics inside is replaced, and it's just like it was out of the box. I went ahead and painted those up and put them on and installed. I also used that opportunity and that time to make another saber as well. One I'm going to go ahead and put inside the arm that you can put on him, his spare arm, so that one will get scratched up. And then the other one, I'm going to not scratch it up. I'm never going to put it inside that little holder, and I'll just use the beam saber along with that one, and that will be my clean beam saber. So I'll have one that gets scratched and one that's clean. So sorry I snuck this guy into this video, but I just wanted to give you an update on what I did to him.